Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is a Dremel DigiLab 3D45 and this is the very first 3D printer I've ever owned. I got this thing back in 2019, simpler times, even before this channel even existed. If you've been watching the channel for a little while, you probably recognize this from the video where I cleaned it. I also have a short of a time-lapse of this thing printing. But if you've been watching the channel pretty much since the very beginning, you probably know that this printer was used to make the original pulley project all the way back in, I think, 2020. Honestly, I don't even think I actually showed the printer on the channel. Well, till I did the cleaning video. And we're gonna be printing the new pulley project on here. We're gonna see how long that takes. It's probably gonna take, like, I'm gonna guess 7 hours to print that thing, because this thing is a little bit slow. I'm gonna do some tweaks to the settings to maybe make it go faster, but we will see. This was about $2,000. I think you can still buy it. I got it for, I think, $1,800. I'm gonna say it right now, I don't recommend buying this printer because there's tons and tons of new printers out there. You're better off buying a different printer, more modern than this. With that all out of the way, let's get to talking about this thing. So this thing came with some accessories. Now, I don't have all the accessories with me right now because they've either been used up or I just misplaced them. I guess we'll start off with the stuff I don't have out right now. It came with a manual, some other little bits and bobs, like a quick start guide, that kind of paperwork stuff. Came with 2 glue sticks, 2 photo glue sticks. They were these purple glue sticks. I used them up, not just on this printer, but on my Bamboo. It did also come with a USB stick. On that USB stick, if I remember correctly, it came with the slicer software, the models that are preloaded on here. The last kind of small accessory is this scraper here. I still use this. This is my primary scraper because I really don't like the scraper that the Creality came with, or the Bamboo one is. Oh, the Bamboo one, you have to print that one. But they're kind of like this razor blade scraper that, yes, I've cut myself just by rubbing my finger against the edge of it. But I can do that with this all day and it won't cut me. Not saying I haven't been sliced by it, because I have tried to pull something off and I've sliced my hands open with it before. And also, this thing doesn't scratch the build plates. I have scars on my build plates from the razor blades type scrapers. But this, gets good angle, scrape it off, a lot more flex to the blade here, so you can really get underneath your prints and pop them up rather than just kind of going around the edges like those razor blade ones. So this is definitely a better one. If you can find a scraper similar to this, that's what I would recommend for. The razor blade type do have their place, but this is overall just, I think, a more universal scraper. It also came with 2 rolls of filament. These rolls, they're definitely smaller than regular filament rolls. They have a smaller hole in the middle here, so pretty sure most printers that have like the external spool holder will not work in this. They are RFID chipped for this printer. It tells you what kind of filament it is and sets the printer to that. Let's talk about this one first. This is Dremel's proprietary Eco ABS. Now, according to the Dremel website, Eco ABS has nothing to do with ABS. In fact, it is a specially formulated version of PLA to give it better strength, to be almost on par with ABS. Not really going to test it either, because I don't even know if they still make this stuff, so it's not even worth talking about the Eco ABS as much. But it also came with this guy here. Now, this is nylon. This stuff is really flexible. And I have printed a couple of things with it. And yeah, this stuff is very interesting. They're both kind of just uncommon materials. It's like most printers will come with PLA. I kind of understand this one because this is like your brand's specially formulated thing. But this guy, to me, it's a little bit out there. Did buy more rolls of filament. I got PLA. Over there, we have a red and a white. We also bought orange and blue. I was going to make Nerf blasters on this printer. Never did. That's why I brought blue and orange. Yes, this was used to make the original Nerf mug. All right, so that's all the accessories. Now let's talk about the printer itself. I got the MacBook here with the MacBook dock thing I made. Strangely popular video. So the website, it seems to appear when you look up this printer, is this company here called 3PI Tech Solutions or whatever. The nozzle size on this thing, which isn't really measured what size it is, but doing some Google searching, it appears to have a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. And the build volume, 255 by 155 by 170 millimeter, or 10 by 6 by 6.7 inches. So it's a pretty small build volume for how large this thing is. This thing, I think, is wider than my Bamboo X1. Like, that's how big this thing is. So it's a fully enclosed printer, and has a liftable roof here. Liftable top, and then also has a front door here. These are plastic, very easily scratched, but they do keep everything enclosed and also kind of dampen the sound a little bit. It has this little door on the side here. Let's pop that off. So when I say fully enclosed, this thing is 100% fully enclosed because even the filament spool is enclosed inside. We'll just have it fully enclosed inside the printer. I guess it works. It just makes the thing really, really wide. So we have a power switch, a USB port, and Ethernet. According to the website, this port here doesn't actually do anything in terms of transferring files, but that's an old document, and they specifically said, oh, maybe an update will change that. So I'm not even too sure about that. We also have an Ethernet port because you can connect this thing via Ethernet and have it all locally networked. No internet required. And if you don't want to have any kind of network connection, you can use the front USB port here to load files onto the printer. So this right here is a glass build plate. So this is something that's kind of uncommon. Never really seen other printers, at least mainstream ones, that have this thing. There's a printer that prints upside down and it has one of these, but most of them just use the metal ones that you kind of like peel up and stuff like that. So most modern printers, like the X1 or the K2, they have something called automatic bed leveling. Some cheaper printers that have manual bed leveling, where you get like a level and you put it on there. This is something called semi-auto bed leveling. But yeah, then you're prompted to turn the knobs in a certain direction. And you just slowly turn them. Slowly turn them till it makes a noise. There we go. And after pokes and prods it, gotta rotate it again, keep verifying until it's fully leveled. There we go. Fully leveled. I brought out a USB stick that had some files on it that I wanted to print. Dang it, where did I put that thing? I'll be back. As soon as I say I'll be back, I found the stick. Yeah, so here's the slicer. It is based on the Cura slicer. So it's got all the Cura slicer bits on it, but it is customized for Dremel stuff. If we go to build here, we can get a preview of it. I said in the original video that when I cleaned it, there was no camera. And then I ended up realizing while I did a test print that there was, in fact, a camera on this thing. I completely forgot about that. Not sure if you can do a time-lapse through it, though. The internet's a little bit mixed on it. You can do it, but you have to use a different software. There's like a Dremel cloud software, I think. But I'm using the slicer, which is apparently different. Not too sure. We're still just going to use the GoPro. But yeah, so you can have a little preview there. We are going to want supports, and I do want to have it at 5% infill, because if we have it 20%, which is what the default is, this thing is going to take forever. I've always had trouble removing the supports on this thing, so I want to make sure that we're doing this right. 2.5 hours. I'm pretty sure my camera could survive that. The GoPro can survive that. So let me set up the GoPro, and we'll be back when it's done. All right, so the print is complete. So we can just hit the accept button. Let's open this thing up here and get this thing out. See if we can pop them now. Yeah, we're gonna need to use the scraper. So I got this little rim around it. Best way I've found to take the parts off is just do that, and they'll just kind of fall off. Seems to be the best way. And if you can see on the bottom here, see if we can get the light just right, you can see it's completely smooth. And it is smooth to the touch. That's very slick. And this is where one of these scrapers comes in handy. And now here comes the big part, the issue that I always have with this printer, and that is support material. There was a little bit of like melting on the outside. You see how the edge is a little bit rough there? I think the original pulley project, the holes here actually did get stuck with the material. And if that is actually not bad at all. A lot rounder than the prints I get out of the Bamboo and the Creality. That's kind of interesting. Now this was the part on the original pulley project that absolutely failed. This thing did take longer than 2.5 hours. It actually took 3 hours to print. I did bring my iFixit kit out here too because I got the pry bars and stuff. I would definitely recommend picking up some kind of kit like this. Not exactly the iFixit kit. I know there are other brands out there for sure. All the pry tools and stuff. Screwdrivers help too. I will say this is the part that's not the hardest, is the inside here. Underside here, this stuff is going to be the hardest one. This is kind of the reason why I didn't get into 3D printing till a little bit later. Me and supports have a very terrible, horrendous relationship. I absolutely hate supports. That's why most of my models, I try my hardest to avoid having supports. I just try. Oh gosh, there we go. Oh wow, that's further than we got last on the first ever pulley project. I'm gonna call this good, and we're going to assemble it. There we go, and then put the pin into the other side, like so, and there we go. SolidWorks pulley project V2 printed on the Dremel DigiLab. You know, I always told myself, maybe one day if I ever understood 3D printing, I would attempt the pulley again. Of course, not the original pulley, because the original pulley is a lot larger than this guy here. There you go. And there you have it, the Dremel DigiLab 3D45. I'm actually quite surprised that this actually worked just fine. It doesn't spin super nicely, but it does spin somewhat freely. I hope you found this video entertaining, helpful, or whatnot. I have nothing else to say other than thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.